Turn your headphones up. It's going down. That chocolate boy about to come out. It's the T and Henny Show, the only online platform providing the knowledge of spilled tea with the ratchetness of a shot of Henny. Ladies, get that lip gloss popping, and fellas, put some lotion on your beards. You're about to be live with the best to ever do it. Hello. What's up, fam? Welcome back to the T and Henny Show. It's your man Disco Cocoa Bean Jackson. Got my man right here, Coach Dirt. What's up, homie?
Right, we back.
And we got, who is this? LeBrand? Who the hell is that? Is that Brandon?
Yes,
LeBrand James. What's up, y'all? We back, y'all, as always. Lex couldn't make it tonight. That's okay. We're gonna do this in honor of her. I'm still gonna say what I gotta say, and I'll record it and send it to her so she can know what's going on. Tonight's topic, man, we're gonna get straight to it today because this is one near and dear to my heart. Even though I don't have any children, but I think the program is totally twisted. Child support. The system needs an overhaul. I agree with that. It 100% needs an overhaul. Dirk, what you think?
I think it does in general. This is probably one of the few topics that I don't have, I'm not super well versed on, but based on what I've seen, I think it does need an overhaul. Because, things aren't how, things are different, now as time goes on, things change, but the laws don't.
Right. Absolutely. Things change. LeBrand, what do you think, homie?
Burn it down, start it from scratch.
Burn it down, start it from scratch. Why you suggest that? What do you think is wrong with the system?
Everything. I mean, it's, considering the time that it was first started to, where we are now, it's not equitable. It's not fair to the individual that has to pay, whether
now,
it's male or female.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's just how I feel about it.
Well, I think I'm on the same page with you, bro. I believe that it's, again, I'm not on child support. I don't have any kids or nothing like that, but I've seen a lot of dudes get dragged under for it, man. Child support is used as leverage. It's used as a weapon these days. It's not necessary. Granted, there are some people that use it for what it's intended for, to provide a source of income to help the other parent who's by themselves, who's not getting any help from the other co-parent. But you got some people out here, man, they just buying themselves shoes, buying themselves cars, houses, trips, all that nonsense, man. And it's ridiculous. And it's being used as a weapon, man. I know a few dudes, man, who won't leave the relationship because the girl keep threatening them with child support. Or you leave, I'm gonna put you on child support. First thing they say, why the hell is that? I don't get that. That's crazy. I don't understand it. Michelle says it is needed, but it is abused. Hell yeah, it's abused. It's grossly abused. It's terrible. I think it's abused more than it is used for what it's intended for. Those are my thoughts. What you think, Dirk?
I agree.
I know you got to know some people, man, that's going through the ringer, bro. I know some people I
don't have any people close to me that are, but I mean, I'm not a young dude, so I've seen it. But it, ultimately, you want what's in the best interest of the child. But when you don't have any reins on where that money may go, then people, the greed sets in, the payback gets in, and I want to pay him back. I'm putting him on child support.
Yeah, man. That's terrible.
So that happens too, and it's happens every day. There's some people. There's a population of people that are using it for what it's intended, but there's a lot of them that are really abusing the hell out of it.
Man, it's a lot less people using it for what it's intended than it is using it how to go to the clubs, man. I got stories for days on this, bro. That's one reason why I don't have children, man. And I'm trying to find that right one to lock down with. You know what I mean? But they terrible, man. I know, man, look. I know somebody with a kid. They was paying, their child support went up to like $1,200-$1,300 a month. One kid, bro. One. And you know what the mother went out and bought a brand new car. You know what she told the dude? Told him, said, tell your son. She told his son, said, tell your father thank you for the car.
Wow.
Tell your father thank you for the car. Are you crazy?
Wow.
Are you serious? How is that even legal? That's terrible, man.
Yeah.
Lonnie says the problem is both sides. There's a lot of guys that don't want to pay. Hey, I mean, if you know what, if they don't want to pay for being an asshole, you know what I'm saying, being trifling. All right, man, you know, they got to do what they got to do. But I'm talking about what I'm talking about is the good dudes out here that's getting dragged through the mud. It's a lot of good dudes getting dragged through the mud over bitterness, man. It's all bitterness. You know what I mean? So you can't be with them. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna take your pockets. Man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of that going on. Hit
I know
those comments real quick. They coming up fast.
they coming up fast. Let me see. They coming up crazy fast. I'm trying to get it. Murray says, Craig, child support is with or without marriage. Oh, Craig, what did Craig say? Then why you don't legally marry these women? I guess he's saying that's why you don't legally marry these women. ABA from YouTube. What's up, homie? Thank you for joining us. Child support demonstrates in part how fragile the strong and independent. Damn, I can't get that word out. Independent women really is. Good point. It's a lot of independent women out here that say, you know, I don't need that, holding it down on their own, man. There's a lot of women out here not getting child support, you know, that won't take the dude. I applaud you for that. I definitely applaud those that look the other way, man. You know, they give you all that. You deserve that. Michelle says, I agree with Lonnie. There are problems on both sides. There are. I'm not disputing that. You got some trifling ass dudes out here, all the way. You got some trifling dudes, man, who won't take care of their kids, who spend their money on some red bottoms, buying these raggedy cars, rims all everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Smoking with the fellas and won't take care of their kid. But at the same time, did these women know who these dudes were ahead of time?
Yeah, nobody ever asked. Nobody ever asked. Well, how did you end up with that dude to begin with? Nobody ever asked that question.
I'm pretty sure, man. I'm pretty sure they knew this ahead of time, man. It was signs there, bro. Especially if he got 2 more kids. Come on, man. You knew what he was. You knew he wasn't taking care of the last one. But now all of a sudden you mad at him because history repeated itself.
Oh, come on, Brandon. Go ahead and bring up Future. I know it's coming.
Man, thank you for talking about that. My thing is, right, I mean, like I said, we talk about Sierra like we always do, you know what I'm saying? And people talk about the fact that I mean, like I said, Bow Wow and everybody that she was talking to before, right? And then like I said, she hit a buzzer beater with Russell Simpson, but before that, my thing is, you were engaged to dude, right? You had a child with dude, and you were baby mother number 3. Like, what about what did you think was going to happen with the other 2? So I mean, I don't even know what to say. But when we look at it, like I said, it was a young gentleman that said, oh, they started it off by saying there's problems on both sides. Well, yeah, you're right. It's problems on both sides. We need to look at who some of these women are selecting at first, right? If he has, if that he sells drugs or he's a 35-year-old rapper, right? What do you think is going to happen when you get with him? The relationship ends. Do you think that support is just going to be free flowing? Like, you got to make better decisions from yourself on the front end. So, I mean, that's just my piece.
I'm gonna put the link up here early, y'all, because we don't have a female up here, and I don't want it to appear that I'm woman bashing. You know what I mean? I already got that one once. I don't want it to feel like you ladies to feel like you don't have a voice. I'm gonna put the link up here early, so you can click on, join us. I would like a female to be up here so she can speak.
Get Lonnie's comment before this thing start going.
All right, this one right here.
Yeah.
People can always speculate on what is being done with child support. I was paying $2,200 to 3 baby mothers, and I say this: my kids are and was being taken care of. Never needed anything, and I never questioned what was being done with the money.
That's because you're a simp. You know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Damn,
we're not going to celebrate the fact that you just paid money into a black hole and had no benefit. Like what kind of well, pat yourself on the back, buddy. When you're looking at the United States, is the average man pays $430 a month. Okay, so when you look at that, there's people that are paying less, and there's people that are paying way more. Okay, let's look at what's going on with the money. So you take a man who is paying, let's say, $700 for two kids a month. That's something that's modest, right? What ends up happening is he pays that money, and he pays that on a monthly basis, right? Now, the income to the mom is not tax deductible, meaning she doesn't have to claim that money on her taxes, right?
What, child
So
support?
no, she does not
Damn,
have
I ain't
to.
never know
So
that.
it factors in when you're going to get like SNAP or like welfare benefits, but in terms of your taxes, it's not considered taxable income, right?
How the
So
hell
if she,
not?
hey, that's something that we have to ask about, right? So if he's making 50,000 and she's making 50,000, right? That's an extra almost $10,000, right? So that means that for him, right? Because if he doesn't have residential custody of his kids, he can't legally claim them on his taxes, right? So that means that the mom, let's take one of his moms, right? The mom would be able to, and let's say she's making 50, and he paid the $700, let's say two of the kids, with her or what have you, right? That's almost $10,000 a year, right? In non-taxable income. So yes, she has the children, right? But she's getting taxed for $50,000 when she really made 60,000, and he's getting taxed for 50,000 when he really made $40,000, right? And add our little friend, it depends on her income, right? Because like I said, the cap is at 51,000, right? So our little friend earned income tax credit, right? Which means that the custodial parent, meaning the residential custodial parent that the child lives with, right, would get up to another $3,500 of non-taxable income returned back to the parent on top of that. So you're talking about up to an extra in that scenario, up to an extra $10,000 in money that she doesn't have to account for to him, right? And isn't taxed from the government. So I mean, when you like back to that brother's comment or whatever, good job for like going ahead and holding it down for her so that she can buy wigs or just accessories for her OnlyFans account. I don't know. I mean, it's up to him.
So
I need somebody to click that link right now. Anybody, somebody coming in. Who's coming in? Please come in here. Make sure y'all click that link.
I guess this for you, Brandon. How do you propose we do that? What would make the most sense to you? I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's that? Mike. Who's that for, Mike? I'm sorry. I guess
Yeah,
that wasn't for Brandon.
looks like he was replying to somebody.
Yeah, I can't see who he was replying to. Angela says I have answers for both sides of the fence, but we listening.
Man,
But
I
I
want to
never knew
hear it.
that wasn't taxable income, dude. How the hell?
No, sir.
So if I go out
Free
here
money.
and I cut
Hmm.
grass and I cut 50 yards and make me 500, $700, I get taxed on that. A matter of fact, if somebody gives me a lump sum of money, depending on the amount, I get taxed on that. But I'm paying her $1,000 a month, and she don't get taxed on that.
I
How is
mean,
that even right?
like I said, they say it's for the child. So, the assumption is that the mom's spending the money on, on the
Man,
child's,
come on, man.
all 100% of the money is going to the child. And,
No,
I
come
mean,
on, man.
not,
That
not
hell no.
blunts and Hennessy.
10% is going to the child. For the majority of the women. For the majority of the people that's on it, 10% going to the child. Come on, man. And I'm stand by that number. I'm not a percent dude, but I'm stand by that number. Go ahead, Dirk.
Hey, Angela, you can come in. Just don't click the camera. You can come in like Brandon is right now. We don't have to. We want to hear your opinion. And anybody here, we got space for 3 more people. So come in and speak your piece or make your comments or whatever. I don't have. I'm listening right now.
Man, like what Ray Brooks said, like right here, it's not even, that's not even being factored into it,
Hold on,
like,
let me read that for him, Brandon. It
yeah.
said Ray Brooks says, "What about those who tweak the system in their favor? Example being those who purposely drop their jobs to seek more support and/or alimony."
I
That's
mean,
crazy,
like,
man. That
you,
they do
you,
that.
You got people, and you can only imagine what kind of debauchery is going on in this pandemic. People losing jobs, so let me go ahead and see what I can do to get emergency custody, so that I can have my husband slide me $1,000 a month, so I can go ahead and do what I got to do. It's just
Hey,
dog eat dog out here.
hey, Snooky, the link is up there. I pinned the link to the it's right. The link is on the page in the comments. It's pinned to the comments. You should be able to see. I think on my side is at the bottom, so it might be on the bottom of your screen as well.
Just throw it up there one more time for kicks, because I don't know.
Right.
Sometimes,
All right, y'all on YouTube. The link is for YouTube and right here on Facebook with us. Either one of y'all can get on. Press the link by the comment section. The pin, yeah, there it is. She says it's not just women doing this. You're right, Michelle. It's not. I don't. You know what? I don't even. I don't know. Okay, well maybe one man that's getting child support, bruh. Honestly, now I've been on this earth for 44 years, man. 44 years. I've met a lot of people. I've been around a little bit. I've met a lot of people in my travels, and I have not met one man that's received child support. Not one. Not one. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's some out there you just never
No,
really
they are.
hear
They
about.
are. But present company excluded. We got Murray on here. She said I think she said she's paying it. But it's other than that, no, I haven't seen it. So I would like to know the statistics on that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sure those dudes ain't milking it. I'm pretty sure they using it for what it. Well, you know what? I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that, like we said in the beginning, for the abuse to happen, there has to be a lot of loopholes. And until that stuff kind of gets addressed, it's something that's always going to happen.
But how does it's not? Is it? I'm pretty sure it's been addressed millions of times, man. Are these judges even? How do they even come up with the numbers? How do you award somebody $1,500 for one child? How? $1,500 a month for one child. How does one get awarded that? That's crazy, man. God forbid if you got twins.
I mean, when you look at the state of Maryland, they have it's a child support calculator, right? So they look at your income, they look at her income, or whatever she says the income is. They do give you a little bit of a choice. So like you can look at what they file for, like in their taxes, or you can have them prove their income, going back a certain amount of months or what have you. But once you do it and once you're locked in, they look at your, income, they calculate it, and it's just it. And that's another thing. They look at your gross income. So they don't care about, they don't care about how much your apartment costs. They don't care about your car note. They don't care about what you eat. They look at your gross money before anything's taken out of it. And that's how they determine how much
Wow.
you owe this mom.
But that's not what you actually bring it home, though. That's not what you actually bring it home when you at the taxes and all that. That's crazy.
Man, now you talking about people that you don't know. I don't know a judge that actually cares.
Wow.
It's not coming out of his pocket, so why would he care?
Nicole
Yeah.
says my ex was paying $1,600 for how? How? What is he making $100 a year? Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's.
I
just don't. That's the one topic that I don't really have. Like,
well, I got a lot to say about it because I
know
hate it.
I know it's a lot of broken stuff, and I know, like, sometimes, like, I always talk about how broke people are in America, and how people are living check to check and can't afford a $500 emergency and all of that, and then they boom $1,600 a month. Go ahead and get that.
I don't know, man. This ridiculous. It needs to be. This is what I think. Do we need child support? Sure. Okay, we can make an argument that it's needed. When either party, if a male is awarded or a female is awarded it, that money should go on some type of bank card, man, a debit card or something. It should go on a debit card where the spending of it can be seen, can be tracked. You know what I mean? Where you can show you paying the light. I mean, I don't have no problem. You need to pay the light bill, the gas bill, the water bill. Okay, But that goes with to keeping the kid, in a nice home.
If you
But
scroll up a few comments, Lonnie, it should be in the feed.
yeah, I posted it 3 times. It's right there, Lon. It should be right at the bottom.
Yep. All you should have to do is just press on it inside the chat comments, and it'll take you there.
There you go. I posted it again. But it should be added to a debit card, man. Because if it's for the child, if it's meant for the child, and if that's what they doing all the calculations and all that nonsense for, let it be for the child. And after, let's say, 6 months, maybe a year or so, 6 months, 6 months, quarterly, I don't know. The judge should review it to make sure that money is that's where it's going for. If it's being utilized for other things, take them off. That simple. That's how you solve that. That simple. Anybody disagree with me? It's weird not having a female's voice up here, man. I need a female.
There's a gray area with that too, because there's the population of men who need to be forced to do something for the kid. Then that mom spends the money on whatever, right? Then the court comes back and says, hey, that money isn't being, to your point, that money isn't being spent on the kid, take it away. But the dude wasn't never going to pay anything anyway. So then what happens?
So,
You said if they ain't spending it on the kid after a review, if they're not spending it on the kid, take it away.
If they're not spending on the upkeep of the home for the kid.
Right. But what about the father who wasn't shit anyway, who wasn't going to try to pay anyway, who needs to be on there?
Okay.
What happens?
What do you mean? So with that same scenario?
You just say take it away, right? You say take it away if she isn't spending the money, right?
Well, either way, she's not spending the money on the kid either way.
Right. And that's why I said it's a gray area, because now the kid ain't getting taken care of either way.
Right. So should he still be punished?
What do you mean? How does he get punished?
He still has to pay. So he's still paying for her life, her lifestyle?
No. We're at your scenario.
Right.
She's spending it on whatever. The court takes it away. How does the kid get supported from the father?
How does the kid get supported still from the father?
No, I'm saying
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. You're saying that theoretically the kid, the father is to providing for the kid.
No, I'm saying they both are, and if she's not putting money towards the kid, and you take away the child support, which she wasn't putting towards the kid anyway, the man is out. The man can do what he want to do, and the kid suffers.
But the kid was suffering anyway. That's what I'm saying. The kid was suffering anyway. He wasn't getting.
There's no protection for the kid. There's something missing. That's why I said it's gray. The kid would suffer in this case.
But the kid is suffering anyway. He wasn't getting the money to begin with.
So then what do we do for the kid?
That's on the mother at that point. She wanted to take the money and not do what it needs to be.
Okay. But now
But
now there's no money at all.
Whose fault is that?
It ain't the kid fault.
It's the mother fault. So what? Okay,
the kid right now.
Okay, I got you. So what can the mother be forced to do to take care of that child then? The man was paying. The man was doing what he's supposed to do all year, right? He was doing all what he's supposed to do all year.
No. We're not talking about the man doing what he's supposed to do. We talking about
it have to.
Listen, my scenario is
right. I got what you're saying.
Dude that ain't shit. You put him on child support to force him to put something towards the kid. The mom then spends that money wrong.
Right.
The only way to fix that is to have some kind of checks and balances, which don't exist. Outside of those checks and balances, the kid gonna lose with the child support, no checks and balances. And then to your point, the court should just take it away completely. Nobody gets anything. And then the kid ends up, I don't even know what the hell happens to the kid.
So leave it in place and the kid still gets nothing?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying somebody gonna have to put in some debit card or whatever you say, where there's something different has to be put in to protect the kid.
That's what I'm saying.
At that point, nobody gives a damn about the kid, the mom or the dad. You put them in the system?
That's what I'm saying. That's where you have the debit card. The judge goes back and looks at the transactions and everything, the things that were in place, And you said what I'm saying is the mother wasn't doing what she needed to do.
Mhm.
Okay, let's say the judge says, you know what? All right, you can keep the money. We're not going to take the father off. We're going to still make him pay. What is that child still getting?
You have to put
Per,
the checks and balances in there. What I'm saying, you said take it away completely. Don't even do that. Don't everybody just
but
off
the
the
checks and balances was there in the first place. That's what I'm saying. That's
I
what the
don't
whole.
I think that's where the system is broken,
Oh man, you twisting me, man.
right?
No,
You
because if you
but
put it, if
we're
you
on
do
here
my
now.
scenario,
We're on here now talking about it's fucked up, right? So
absolutely
something's wrong. So in this fucked up system, that mom has the ability to go buy Gucci bags
right.
because the system is broken. What I'm saying is, you said if she buys the Gucci bags, take that shit away. Dad don't have to pay nothing.
No, no,
Mom,
no, 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 no. Stop. If
okay,
with the new system on the card,
uh-huh.
if she has the card, if we came to the situation where boom, you know what, you going on the card. The judge says this is what we're going to do. We're going to check this quarterly, half a year, whatever.
Okay,
And the mother is still, because that's the only way they can go back and look from the car, from
okay,
that being implemented on the
okay.
car.
My bad. I thought you said take it away if she doesn't
No,
do
not
it.
now, not
Okay,
now. If she's
okay,
put on that system,
got you.
and so if she's still spending that whole time frame or whatever it is that they allot, what is the child getting? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
What is
got
the
you.
child still getting? So should that man still be paying into that, and the child was not getting it in the first place?
I wouldn't say pay into it, but I wouldn't let him get off the hook either. I don't know how you resolve that. Like the mom isn't paying anything, so we got to stop you from paying. Then what does he do?
She should have thought about that.
So
She should have thought about that.
he gets to go do him, and the kid be damned.
The kid being damned anyway. That's what I'll take the kid from the mother. Then how about that? Take the kid from the mother and
Why I
give
said
it
you
to a
might have to
grandma.
put that particular kid in the system or something, which we don't want to happen. But
Nah, not for that.
nobody's contributing to the kid financially. So what? Like I said before, damn the mom and damn the dad. What about the kid?
I get you. I feel you. I'm with you on that. But a lot of these parents not even thinking about the kid, man. They thinking about how they going to the next show or something, man. Going, getting their head done and their shoes tight, man. This is terrible. But I Ray, Ray, who's going to monitor all these transactions? There will have to be a complete judicial department solely to monitor. Not necessary.
That's true too. That's manpower.
Man,
Child support sucks right now. It does. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that would agree with that. It's stupid. It's not being used what it was intended for. No way is it even effective? Or it's effective with getting money from people. Here's another thing. Why you suspend a man license? Well, you suspend a person's license if they don't pay the child support. If you force him to, he's in the arrears and you force him to pay, how does he even how does he get the work to do that?
Oh, Disco.
Yo,
You posted the Facebook link, not the StreamYard link.
impossible. Oh shit. Did I?
Yep.
All right, my bad. Let me unpin that. Oops.
Because I know a couple of these folks would have been in here a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. All right, the right link is up there now, y'all. My bad. There, I did. I forgot. I did go back and repost the stream. My bad. All right, the link is up there now.
I mean, just in the meantime, though, when you look at what's going on, I mean, what you two gentlemen were just talking about is the fact that it's a big gap in the system. There's no financial accountability for like where this money's going. And it's wrong. And it needs to be fixed, but it probably won't be because for every man that wants it to be fixed, it's 25 women that don't want it to be fixed. Because like, why would you
why don't they want to fix?
why would you fix something that's like working in your favor? And it's like to the young lady, it was a young lady who posted that she got $1,600 a month or whatever, right? I would love to talk to that man to know what he ate. You know what I'm saying? Like what he ate that month. You know what I'm saying? Or like where he lives at. Because it's like, Nobody ever talks about or cares about the dude. It's all about the child through the mom. So
All right, we got people in here now, y'all. That was my fault. That was
I knew they was coming.
yeah, I knew they was coming. I was
Like,
wondering what the hell taking so long. Damn, where you go, Lonnie? Damn, where you go? You was the hey Snooky, you was there. Try it again. Nikki's here. Oh, I know we're gonna get this one. Nikki.
Uh-huh. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
I'm
hear
good.
you. With no
Yeah.
no face today?
No.
Okay, all right, okay.
No, I didn't put on my face today. So
What you
anyway,
got to say?
bad hair day. No, I agree with a couple of your comments. One, yes, if the mother uses or abuses the funds that's meant for her child, she should pay a fine. The judge should impose a fine. But then also what the gentleman said about the manpower, how do you monitor that? It's, the system is already jacked up as it is. And, at the end of the day, the child suffers. So, but somebody has to be held accountable. And so I think it's got to be the mother, because 9 times out of 10, the mother gets the child. But
Yes.
But basically, I guess the rule is, or unwritten or written, if the long as a child has a roof over his head or her head, food, the very basic necessities is all what's legally required for the parent to provide.
Yeah, but I'm getting
Right.
an echo.
Hey, you
Hmm?
got. I'm sorry,
Oh,
Lonnie. Hey, Snooky, you gotta turn something off. If you watching through your phone, you got to turn the computer off. Or if you're
No, I'm
talking through the
watching through the
computer, you got to
computer.
turn your phone off. Yeah, you got to mute one of them. Go ahead, Nikki.
yeah, that's what I was saying is that, how do you monitor that? Like someone just commented, but
Somebody can come up with a system. They
if
come
she,
up with systems for everything else.
yeah, that's true. But if she abuses it, she should be fined. But as I was saying, only the basic requirements that a parent has to provide is food, shelter, room
Right.
and board. Room and board, and anything else above that is luxury. So
Absolutely.
they don't need Jordans. They don't need, as long as you have a pair of shoes, it's clean clothes,
Absolutely.
and so
But
and
some
if
say they got to maintain the same lifestyle that they was already living,
yeah,
which is
it can be true, yes,
but
but
you know what though? Like a lot of these people don't even have a lifestyle to begin with to even say that comment. Like,
exactly. That was my point.
there's people out here broke as hell.
What?
that's true.
Wait a
Come on,
minute, hold
Lonnie.
on. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
hear
Yeah,
you.
you good.
Okay, hey man, we talking about child support, man. First and foremost, too many people speculating what people are doing with the money that they're paying for their children. Oh, she's going to the club. Oh, she's getting her nails done. She just bought a new car. Man, as long as the kid is taken care of properly
Yeah.
and they're not asking for extra money and all kind of things, then the guys should not be worried about what the woman doing with the money. It just seemed like basically the guys that are complaining about the money are the ones that are bitter or don't want to pay. But if they look at the needs of the child and all the needs are being met, there should be no complaining.
But
That's right.
damn,
No,
who wants to spend unnecessary money?
But
Out of that, we
hold
all
on,
wait,
know.
cuz.
no,
Wait a
it's
minute,
not
cuz. That's
unnecessary.
not unnecessary money. That's your children.
No. I'm not
know,
saying
Yeah,
don't
we
take
have
care of the
to.
kid.
So let me say
I'm not
this.
saying that.
What do you mean
When
unnecessary?
I was making $7,000 a month, I was paying $2,200 of child support. To me, at first, I was like, "Shit, that's a lot of money." But the
Right.
judge said, "This is how much you're gonna pay."
Yeah, if
Once
there's
the judge said that, hey, I'm cool. What else? What is there to complain about? And my kids have never had any problem with having shoes, having food, having a
Right.
place on their head. Their mom got brand new cars. Their mom live in good house. I don't care about all that, as long as my kids are taken care of well.
right.
Look, so what
But-
about the ones that aren't taking care of kids? Because there's a lot that ain't taking care of the kids.
But
That's
bro,
getting bags.
because there's a lot of dudes that just don't want to pay child support too.
Absolutely. I mean, I get it.
I
Because
thought the
you
guy-
were in
I
a
thought the
position
guy
where
that-
you could pay that.
No, but I was a soldier, right? So I had soldiers that were E4 privates. They didn't even want to pay $80 a month. $80 a month.
But see, there's a formula, and he plugs in the numbers of what you make. So yours is different
Right.
from the next guy, and if she has money left over, and if she pays her car note, technically, yeah, that's fine because she needs her car to transport the kids.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, as long as the basic needs are being met, anything over and above that, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and if my ex is getting a brand new car,
Mhm.
and she's taking the child support to pay for that, I'd rather she drive a brand new car versus drive something that's not reliable.
Right.
So is there like a Gucci bag allowance in there too, or we just don't care?
But that's when you talking about that's when you worried about what she's doing with the money.
Right.
All you gotta do is worry about your kids.
Mhm.
But okay, so just
Yeah.
humor
So
me.
so basically,
Go ahead,
basically, Derek.
Go ahead,
Yeah,
Brandon.
basically, Derek, you're just supposed to shut up. Pay. You're supposed to just shut up. Pay your money. You know what I'm saying, and don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying. As long as your kids are fed. I mean, hey, like what the judge can say. Hey, you know what? Next month you'll pay $5,000.
Come on,
No.
You know
man.
what I'm
That's
saying? Like,
being, that's,
just
that's being
take it.
ridiculous.
You know,
The
like
judge is
who are
going.
you? You're just a father,
The
right?
judge,
Just
yeah,
pay up.
no, you're not just a father. You're setting an example for your children at the same time. So if you always complain about what the woman's doing with your money, how are the kids gonna look at that as they get older? And if the judge is telling you this is how much you should pay,
That's
he's
right.
basing it off of a formula about how much money you make.
And it doesn't change that quickly. He can't say next month.
And
Even
and I believe I'm sure that it's 20% for the first kid, and then 18% for the second kid, and then 16%. So if you keep going out there making all these babies and you can't afford them, then that's your fault as a man.
yeah, hello.
Hey, here's a quick blah blah blah. A quick question, and then we're gonna get to Angela. Ray Brooks says, Balani, what about the co-parent that refuses to get a job and you're paying $2,200 to allow housing for the child and her?
I
Is
would
there
say
an
that.
issue? Hold on. Is there an issue there, especially when she is able to get a job, which will drop your monthly rate?
I would say this: when that child turns 18 and that woman never went out there and got a job and don't have any job skills, then she's going to be the one that's going to be in trouble at when that kid turns 18. Because now she don't have any job skills. She can't go out there and survive on her own.
But you're supporting her at this point.
No, you're supporting your kid, man.
Her to court.
No, you're not. You're
Let me tell you
supporting
something.
her.
Okay, let me explain
Back
something.
to court.
I was paying my first ex-wife $1,200 a month. When he turned 18, he had stayed back a year. So I had to pay an additional year, which meant he had to be 19 when he graduated from high school. Well, he turned 19 in March. And April 1st, they stopped my child support. The state stopped it. You know what she did? She said, hey, I wasn't ready for the child support to stop. Can you still give me that money? I said, hell no.
And you was like, hell yeah. It's for the kids.
And the thing was, my child was taken care of.
Oh my
I took care of my financial responsibilities.
She asked for more money. She wasn't ready for it to stop.
No, she asked for the last months of until he graduated in June.
Oh, okay.
So real quick, to Michelle's point about assuming the Gucci bag, I'm saying, what if the Gucci bag money came out to child support money? Is that cool? Lonnie is saying, yes, it's cool. She should be able to do what she wants to with it as long as the kids are being taken care of, right?
Hey, and actuality, if she can buy a Gucci bag and she's taking care of the kids and you paying your child support, that makes her look good when she's walking around holding his hands.
Oh hell.
Oh
Come
man,
on, Snooki, man.
come on, man.
Sounds bitter, man.
Come on, man.
No, I was
Come on, Snooki, man.
$2,200 a month.
No.
No, come on, man. I'm not complaining.
But
You know,
But you were in a position that it didn't that 2,200 was nothing to you at that time. You were in a position to do that.
See, now let's go backwards. You said I was in a position. That meant I kept striving to be better than what I was. I kept trying to pursue better goals. So
Absolutely.
those guys out there that's making whatever amount they're making, they pay $140 and they're content and they complain about $140. They're not trying to make more money because they don't want to pay more money.
I've known people who quit their jobs so they won't have to.
Yep.
So
Go ahead, Angie. Let's get Angie. Go ahead, Angie.
just go.
Oh no.
Yes.
Hold on. So the question is, if the child is being taken care of, all the needs are being met, if there's extra money left over, what difference does it matter where it goes?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that because I got man. Look, y'all gonna hate me today. Somebody gonna hate me today. Snooki can't hate me and Brandon can't hate me, but everybody else y'all gonna hate me today. So I ain't worried about it. Go, hey, come on, Angie.
Okay, so I see both sides of the fence, and this is a personal example. My son's father and I, we were together for 5 years, and we split right after our son was born. So he just left. He never called, he never helped, he never did anything. So I gave it 3 years. On my son's 3rd birthday, I texted him and I said, hey, I submitted my paperwork for child support because I've given you 3 years and you have done absolutely nothing. So I went up to the court. We had our little negotiating meeting with the magistrate. They ran his numbers and they said that he has to pay me $1,100 a month. I said, no. I don't need $1,100 a month. I said, I just want him to pay daycare every other week. So $150 every other week, $300 a month. She said, well, that is really low. That's below our minimum. I said, I just want $300 a month. So she said, okay. So she wrote up the paperwork. Well, he quit his job to be spiteful. And he's not a bad man at all. He used to work. He went to college. Like, he was doing well for himself. I guess he was just trying to be bitter and get back at me, but really it was hurting him.
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I said, I have no problem taking you off of child support, but you have to assist, whether it's physical, financial, both, whatever the case may be. So after a couple of years, he started applying for good jobs again, but they were denying him because he had debt. He wasn't paying his child support. He started paying it when he got a reasonable job, and he ended up getting accepted into the police academy. And in order for him to get through the police academy, I had to eliminate all of his debt, his back pay, which I did. He got through the police academy. He's doing very well for himself. As soon as I seen the stability from him, we both went right to the court together, and I took him off child support. And he, till this day, he helps me and he thanks me for helping him. Although at first he didn't see the problem, like he didn't see where I was coming from. Like, dude, I want to help you out. He thought that I was just trying to be bitter, but I wasn't. So now
you're a rare breed.
That's rare. I'm about to say, yep, that's rare.
Yeah, like he's successful and he helps me, and I don't even have to ask him every other week.
But you should be praising that you don't have to ask him. That he should be doing it anyway.
That's right.
Right.
I give
exactly.
You that.
So
and I would say this: when you said that he's a good man, well, he shouldn't have quit his job in the beginning.
No, I'm saying that he's not like, you know how some women, they just hook up with whoever and have kids with whoever, and then they play victim, but you knew what you were doing in the first place. Yeah. But him and I, we had a long-term relationship and we planned to have a child. And I guess my parents say it kind of scared him, maybe because some men get scared. I don't know. But he went off the deep end. But then he started realizing, like, I'm wrong. Let me stop being bitter. Let me actually do right. And now his life is in a whole different area. And he, like I said, he thanks me. We get along just great. He sees Taylor when he can, when he's not working, and he pays without me asking. And I see that as a positive. Like, even though he didn't see it as positive at first, he does now. But the negative side, women put these guys on child support who they know they can't pay no $1,200, $1,300.
Absolutely.
Working at McDonald's. All it is going to back up the money, and then he's never going to be able to get a real job to pay you the real money that you need. So what is the point of raping their pockets? Like, I know a lot of police officers who their ex-wives or whoever are taking them from child support, alimony, their whole retirement. Like, for what?
That's crazy.
That.
I want to get to this one message. I mean, I left this comment up here because I definitely want to get to this. Bonnie says, then why is the system so hell-bent on letting these fathers that can afford $2,200 a month primary custody? Why don't more fathers that step up to the plate with the ex riding that money wave get custody of their kids? Damn good question. Why don't these fathers getting kids? Why I need answers to that. Why aren't they getting custody?
I will answer that because I will answer that. Young men like Lonnie have been conditioned to just pay the money and not even really seek that, because when you look at it, only 10% of fathers, right? Only 10% of fathers get full custody of their kids.
That's how the system is set up.
Can I respond real quick? Why do I need to take my kids from a mother that's providing and doing a damn good job?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have any money to provide.
No,
Why is it your job to
hold on,
provide for her and the child?
all the women that all my ex-wives all worked, all of them, they still work. So you got it twisted. You think that I was a guy that was providing for them. Everybody I've ever dated, we have always been equal.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to sit up here and take my kids from a mother that is giving them nurturing, providing a whole lot of and everything that some of the things that I probably couldn't do because of my job, because I was in the service, always gone. So you got to look at everything and then make your opinion. You can't, if you got little bits and pieces, you can't make a broad opinion of people.
The system favors the mother anyway. Because
Why? Why? I don't understand this.
I'm still trying to figure that out too.
Because even though I know it's even though if they're a crackhead or something, it's just very difficult for the court system to award custody to the father because it's just I don't know, it's just the nature of it.
It's not
difficult at all.
It's the nature.
It's the nature.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Women are more nurturing and
Yep.
I don't know, especially when the kids are young, they need their mother. It's just I don't know, it's just the way it is.
But so is the father not just as important?
He is.
It's not the same because just think about the father. Say take the kids out of the equation. What is a man supposed to go out there and do? Go find a job and provide.
Right.
It's going to be kind of hard for a man to do that when he has kids that he has to take care of at home, or take to daycare, or do all those things. Because society, if I say, "Hey, I got to take my kids to the babysitter, so I'm gonna be a little late," they're going to look at me a little different than a woman saying that, and that's society.
Okay. I mean, there are some men who have custody, and but it's not as much as women as the mother.
Let me share definitely something. Only 10%.
My ex, the children, the father of my children, a long time ago, they're grown now. He is self-employed. He found a way to play the system and tell the judge he was only making so much, or he's self-employed. He can't make this. He can't make. The judge said, "Look," he said, "Man, well, you better go out there and get a job." But even still. He had back child support piling up. He found a way to beat the system, and so each month when the support was due, he could skip a month, and then the next month pay something, and the clock would start all over again. So then technically he's not late, but he still got he got support in arrears. So he kept doing this on and on, playing games with the system, and I got tired of it. So it was like I just prayed and said, God, help me not to depend on this man for child support. And he didn't. I was able to get a better job, making twice as much, more than him. And I took my kids and I had full sole custody and was able to not depend on his money. So
can I say something about the system also?
Mm-hmm.
The system is set up for failure for the woman. And the reason why I say that is because the woman can get WIC, they can get child support, they can do everything they need to do to stay at home. And when they stay at home, some women do not go to college. They don't get educated. They don't get resources to try to find a job, and they get comfortable. Meanwhile, that man has to go out there and find a way to provide for himself, for his kids, child support, or whatever you want to call it. And he gets out there and he gets crafts. He become a professional, and he gets the things to survive later on in life. Where that woman who's been used to getting government assistance from the man, and staying at home and not doing a lot of things is being failed by the system.
So we should just cut child support off.
You have a point.
Hell no.
We're not cut it off.
Just turn it off, and then we won't have to do it. She'll have to leave and go get a job, which is what she's supposed to do. People talk about women being strong and independent, right? So figure that out. Like, I'll give you another example, right? Because I have conversations like this, all the time, all over the internet, right? People were talking about how Gucci Man, right? How he, his kid was the child support order was old, and it was made before he went to jail, right? Before he had this, big come up when he, got this 6-pack in jail and, became like a completely different person, made all his money, right? So, his wife is, or his ex or what have you, was living in the projects, had the smaller order, I think it was. I don't remember how much it was. It was either like $1,000 or $2,000 a month. It was something like that that he was paying in child support, right? So, one of the things that was said was, "Oh, yeah, well, he needs to do better. He needs to put her in a better house." Blah 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 blah. Right? So, and there was one, thread that I was in that I wrote a message. I was like, "Well, no, I don't agree with that." I said, "No, he should just go there and then, take the child with him." They were like, "Oh no, it doesn't work like that." Well, why doesn't it work like that? If she doesn't have any money and she's a bum and she's living in the projects, right? She's not able to take care of him. He's able to take care of him, right? And they were like, "Well, the child needs his mom. The child needs the mom." So basically, what you're saying is the only way that he can have that is to leverage his money to take care of her somewhere else for the child. Get out of my face, man. Go ahead, get the child out of abject poverty, which is what the child is in right now, right? Take them, go ahead and get a nanny that looks like the baby mother, you know what I'm saying? And then just go ahead and live your life, But people only want to look at it from the perspective of, oh, well, the father needs to take this hard earned money, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you said you made $7,000 a month, Lonnie. I don't, even if I made $2 million a month, I don't have $2,200 to just shoot into a black hole and then hope for the best for my child. Like, no, like what? Why is it if I have this money, if I have this $7,000 a month, right? And I'm not talking about. I know I called you a simp earlier, right? And I was just speaking out of it's just speaking out of controversy.
Yeah,
I'm talking to you. Yeah.
I
talking.
didn't take
Yeah,
no
oh,
offense,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I don't take no offense.
All right, but what I'm saying is, what I'm telling you is, right? What I'm telling you as a man is, right? Like man to man, right? Is the fact that if you have this opportunity, you take it and you use it for the child, right? Now, here's another perspective, right? Okay, so now there's only one thing that a man can't do that a mom can in terms of nurturing or taking care of a child, and that's actually breastfeeding them, right? So what I think should happen in that situation, right, is they should look at it, right, and say, okay, maybe there's a situation where you can, if you have this money, you have a better setup where you take the child and let her pay you child support so that you can get your child the extra things that you need.
Now,
Why does it always have a?
Let me ask you
Yes.
this: as a man, and then I know this is another topic, another subject for another day.
Hey man,
As
no,
a
that's what
man,
we do. Let's
how,
go.
how do you feel sitting back and letting a woman pay you to take care of your kids?
I
As a
feel
man,
perfectly. I feel perfectly
Nah.
6 billion% fine with it, right? Because what did women say?
Crazy.
What did women say? They said they wanted.
Man,
They said they wanted equality. They said they wanted all of these things, right? They said there's
hey,
nothing.
bro, you starting to sound like a chauvinist, though.
No.
That's
Nah.
crazy.
Okay, so let's look at let's look at what's been going on, right? So we had the movie MIB International, right? What does MIB stand for? Men in Black, right? They cast a woman in Men in Black. So there's no difference. Like, women can do anything, including be a man in a Men in Black movie. Pay the child support, man. You got it. You got it. This is what the world is. You know what I'm saying? You're not a woman. You know what I'm saying? If you can pee standing up, and make as much as I do on a job, right? Go ahead and break me off with the money.
Okay,
Break
but let
me
me
off
tell
with
you,
the
but
money.
do you know what the glass ceiling is? You know why they call it the glass ceiling?
Man, the reason why I know exactly what the glass ceiling is. The reason why men make more money than women, right, is for two reasons. The one reason is that they come in and out of the workforce because they have children, right? And a lot of them have to start over when they do that, right? Okay, that's a biological thing, but that's not my problem, right?
Men are the providers. Men
yeah, like
are naturally
okay.
supposed to be the providers.
And the other thing is, men work more hours. Men work more hours. If a woman has two part-time jobs, right, and those two jobs make $80,000 a year, right? If she gets a full-time job that pays $100,000 a year, what she's going to do is say, "Oh, well, I have more time with my family, more time for my kids. I'll just work this one job," right? But if a man's working $80,000 a year between two jobs and he gets a job that pays 100,000, right? He's going to say, okay, well, I've already been working 60 hours a week. I'm going to go ahead and take this new $100,000 job and add another part-time on it and go ahead and stack my bread all the way up. That's why men make more money than women. Don't give me that about no glass ceiling or whatever. It's all hard work.
We're not. You don't understand what the glass ceiling is. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Hey, real quick, man. Hey, look, we got a few more minutes, man. We got 2, 4, 5. We got room for one more person in the lobby. Come on in here and
I saw somebody say they wanted to come in. I forgot.
that was Rhonda.
Rhonda.
Click the link. The link is pinned, and so go ahead, click the link, and we got a few more minutes to get you in here.
Is that Brandon? Who is this guy?
That's Brandon.
That's
Come on,
Brandon. That's Brandon. You know who Brandon is.
Jesus, Lord, yeah, you better not show your real face. Wait, where is he? Are you in Maryland? What's that? Where at Century?
She's trying to find you.
Good Lord.
You say what?
Oh my God, where are you in Maryland somewhere?
Hey, like I said, the thing is, you said what century I'm in. Yeah, that's my question for you. You know, what century are you in where you think that it's still the same and that, you know, a man should just shoulder all this burden? Like, why?
No,
why would he?
No.
Why is it a burden?
Well, let me
I don't
say-
understand
let me
why you
tell
keep
you.
saying it's a burden.
It is not. It's boy. Oh Lord Jesus. Okay.
I still haven't got that it's a burden.
It's hot out here. What you talking about, burden? First of all, brother, if you make a child, you should help to take care of it. Take care of him or her, and that whatever it takes. If you have men, naturally, I believe men, you're supposed to be the providers and the protector. Yes, there are many women out here that make a lot more money than men, but at the end of the day, still men across the board make more money than women.
Yep.
And so and why not just get together? Because at the end of the day, if you look at who's going to be affected, it's the child. You know, and that's when you go into the mediation. When we went through mediation, my children were young. All they kept saying, it was the focus is, we are concerned about what's in the best interest of the children. So everybody need to put the egos aside and stop thinking about who's making what and whatever and trying to beat the system. It is your child. It is your DNA. Okay, you want the best for your child. So stop playing games and come on board and try to help your child out. And in 9 times out of 10, the court is going to award the custody to the mother unless you ask for 50-50. But most men don't. Most men don't want to be bothered. And the problem.
I'm sorry. I would say this as a basketball coach. I have over 125 kids on my organization. Of the 125, the single parents, most of them are doing it by themselves. There are a lot of boyfriends, baby daddy, sperm donors that aren't giving these women anything.
Right.
So I see it from a different point of view. And there are women that are abusing the system. Of course, there are women that's going out there having babies so they can get child support. But there's a lot of women out there that's working hard and aren't getting anything from some of these men.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, so I've never said that there aren't trash dudes. And just like I didn't even focus that much on the women that are trying to game the system specifically. I'm talking about how the system itself is set up. Like I said, people, Nikki just said, oh, what century am I in? It's all types of like, little like condescending language like that. Well, the men is supposed to provide, et cetera. Right. I mean, so like I said, you just said that you were able to find a job and make twice as much as what you were making. You were able to grind it out and take care of your business or what have you. Right. And that's good. And there's a lot of women. A lot of you said your children are grown, right? So it's a lot of young women right now that have opportunities that they're either not taking advantage of or what have you. One of the things Lonnie alluded to was the fact that the system was set up to keep women at home and not tapping into their full potential or what have you.
Yeah.
But that's not my problem. That's not my problem.
Do you have
That's none of your business. That's none of your business. That whether I have children or not has nothing to do with what I said.
Well, it should affect the way you talking about this. I wonder if you do have children now. You probably don't.
So like I said, you can think whatever you want to believe, but that doesn't change the. Go ahead.
Let me say this also about the system. The system is also geared to not have minority men in their homes. If you look at the big picture, they don't want, especially I'm gonna talk for black men. They don't want black men in the homes to be that stern, that role model. They don't want black men in the homes at all. So
Brandon is bitter.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Hey,
so
hey,
I mean,
hey, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. Since we got everybody here, let's switch gears a little bit. What can be done? Oh, let me put my sexiness on the screen right here. I can't have y'all all just look at
Here
your
we
beige
go.
ass. What?
that's
Did somebody say
that's
twerk?
that's my Native American, man.
Oh, Jesus
very
Christ.
bitter.
Let me get him out of here. But look, what can be done to avoid all of this? What can be done? What can we do
Men
as a
need to step up to
community?
the plate.
Woman,
You know what needs to happen? When a
hold on,
baby is,
Snuggie.
go ahead.
What can we do as a whole, as a community, as family, as people in general, to make sure that we don't have to have this type of discussion? How can we get fathers to stay fathers? How can we get the man to stay in the house? How can we get them to raise their kids? What can be done in that? But I mean, is the education what can be done? Because this is a sad situation. Because one thing is going to always lead to another, and it's going to end up to this conversation somewhere else unnecessarily. Why? How can we get these men off child support, man? How can we get them to stay in the homes and become fathers? Well, my thinking is a lot of guys leave, and some of y'all might hate me for my opinion, but this is my opinion. A lot of guys leave because they can't deal with the parent, the girl, the female half. They can't deal with her. She makes it hard for them. She makes it terrible for them. They don't want to be in that situation, and some of them rather just not deal with it at all. Any portion of it. That's just my opinion of it.
I think they need counseling.
Okay.
So seriously, they both need to understand that if they both look at it, at the end of the day, it's the child. It's their child that's being affected. If they both can put everything aside and focus on their children, and I think that's a start. And it has to, whether they get a mediator or a counselor or somebody to help them to see that and work together that, because if you attack each other, you're only hurting the child. And that's why you have to worry what's the best interest of your child. And if you get them to focus on that, I think that's a starting point to help.
I think I want to jump in really quick because y'all know I was not planning on jumping in.
You never do, Michelle, but you always here.
Show number 15.
Shut up.
Right. Show 15, she didn't mean to be here.
First of all, hello, everyone.
Hey.
But Nikki, I just want to piggyback on what you just said. You are right. I think to fix it, first of all, I don't think it would be great if we didn't even have to rely on a judge to tell us what to do together to take care of our children.
Right.
But I think what has to happen is people need to sometimes their hate is stronger than their love for the children. Mm-hmm. You're bitter, you're hateful. Trust me, I've been through this. I can talk about this from so many different perspectives. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
And to this day, okay, my daughters are 17 and I still got a bitter ex-husband that still tries to make my life a living hell because I'm not with his ass anymore. Okay. So let me just put it to you like that. Okay. So you have to put your hate and your bitterness towards the other person aside, and your love for the children has to be stronger. I don't care if it was a one-night stand. That's your child. You should love them. Your love for the child should outweigh anything else. And ideally, you should just be able to come together and agree, okay? I did not want to have to go to child support, but I was put in a position to do it. I did not want to have to go that route, but when you're not doing what you're supposed to do,
that's right.
These are your children. And trust me, I could have gone back and said, oh, these circumstances have changed. I need more. And I never did that because it wasn't about milking him to death so that it wasn't about that, and not all women. And there are women, trust me, there are deadbeat women, just like there are deadbeat men that are abusing the system. I agree with that 1,000%. Okay. There are people that abuse the system 1,000% on both ends. And yes, a lot of the times it is women that are doing it. I have to just be honest and say that.
Well, thank you for being honest.
But to fix it, just come together and do what's right. And let me just tell you this, ladies, if a man is trying and he wants to do the right thing, work with him. Just because it's not the dollar amount you think it should be, you might say, I need $1,000 a month. If he says, look, this is what I make, this is what I'm dealing with, I can only give you 200. Work with him, work with him where he is, and I think sometimes people just want to be assholes and they want to hurt you and they try to do it in your pockets. You know what I'm saying? Work with someone where they are. It could even be maybe he's not working, but he's trying. How about, okay, you're not working right now. You're trying. How about we help cut back on the daycare expense if they're daycare age, and maybe 2 days a week you watch the child while I'm working, and those other 3 days while you're looking for work, we can have someone that will only charge us for those 3 days or something. Like, you can work something out where both of you can come together and work together, and it's for the child.
That's right.
Sounds good, but it's just that's not how it is.
And let me say, real quick, I know someone who had an amicable breakup. They weren't married, had 2 children. They got along every week because the company that I was working at the time, we got paid weekly. Every week, he automatically had direct deposit going to her account every week. When he got engaged and was getting ready to get married, oh, she went to court. Oh, I need to put you on child support. They go to the court, and it wasn't a judge, but it was like a master of the court said, okay, is he already paying? And he said, I pay this much every week automatically. She doesn't even have to wait for me to send it. It's automatic. And she said, well, why are we here? And when they did the calculation based on the state of Maryland, it was less than what he was doing on his own.
Outstanding.
That's good.
And you know what I'm saying? But she was bitter because he was happy, he was engaged, he was getting married, and she's talking about, I don't know if this new wife is going to try to do something to affect that. And he said, no problem. If you want to go by what they tell us, which is less, let's do that. Of course she didn't. Okay, so they made an agreement, but the agreement that they made was for 4 payments per month. So get this. There's usually like 2 months a year where you might have that extra pay week. And he always had the money going out. But because she agreed and they put in writing, you're only getting the 4 weeks. That 5th week came that 1 month and she was like, I didn't get a payment. He said, yeah, because remember, we went to court and you agreed to this pay scale. Right. So
it's all about money. To me,
you're not getting that extra week this month. Like you
it's all about money, man. Child support is the long and short of it, in my opinion. Child support is being used as a weapon. It's being used as a weapon, man, and it's not being used what it was designed to be used for. It's being used by bitter people that can't. I'm gonna say it. The majority of them is women that can't. That the man, they losing the man. I've seen somebody, man. This is no lie. They broke up. They was chilling. You know what I'm saying? Dude was taking care of his kid and all that. He went and got a girlfriend. She took him child support the next week, man. The next week.
Because we need somebody to break down the numbers.
Come on, man.
And say,
Snooki, that's terrible, man.
Hold on. Let me say, this is how much you should pay.
Right.
Break down the numbers. If I pay you $200 child support, that ain't gonna do shit. But
hold up, it takes 2 to pay. So is she not? Are you as a man supposed to take care of the child 100%?
Okay, let's say
50-50 thing.
No, 50-50. So let's say $400 a month. What that pay for?
Well, it's with your 400 and her or her whatever she can.
No, we said 200 a piece.
Okay.
What does $400 pay for? Because child care is gonna be about $300 damn near for the month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Now, where the food come in?
I was paying more than that a week.
I'm just saying. We're talking about a little bit of money for kids.
Right.
When I was paying $1,200 a month, it was because that's what I should have been paying because the amount of money I was making, the status that I was living, the status that she was living in.
But why does what you making matter? Why does what you make matter? I don't understand that.
That's why it matters.
Because it's a system. They plug in the numbers in this chart.
My ex didn't live in the projects. Okay. My ex lived in a fucking a residential area in a house. So am I supposed to pay her the same amount of money that if she lived in the projects?
Why does what you make matter?
Just your social status. Where you at does matter. I'm not gonna pay the same amount of I'm not gonna pay the same amount of money that fucking Tom Cruise paying in child support because we don't make the same. But the way you're saying is that we're supposed to pay the same amount of money?
No, you're not.
Hell no.
No.
Yes, I'm not this. She said, Jerome, come on. The kid has to live somewhere, has to eat, go to daycare, be close. Okay, I'm not disputing that at all.
All right, so break down
I'm not
how
disputing
much
that.
it should cost a month for a kid. I would like to hear this.
Me too.
I don't have kids because I don't know, bro. But this is what I'm saying. If you make it,
Just say how much daycare costs.
So what they do, you go to court and
Medical
they
care.
ask you
Dental
what
care.
it makes. They ask you what the man makes. There's literally a computerized system.
Yeah,
Plug in
it's
her
20%.
numbers, plug in his
So-
numbers. It'll spit out what you both contribute.
so
And that's how it works.
y'all, you got kids. Michelle, you got kids. How much does it cost
Okay,
you?
let me just
So how
tell
much
you this.
a month?
Let me just tell you this
on.
alone. Let
Go
me
ahead.
just tell you this alone. Now, mind you, my daughters are 17 now, so it could be more now, it could be less. I don't know.
Right.
When my daughters
Let's
were
say for a
in
10-year-old child.
when
Let's
my
say for a
daughters
10-year-old
were in-
child.
Listen, when my daughters were in preschool, weekly, that preschool cost me $342 a week, and that was with an $18 discount because I got a 10% off of one of the tuitions because I had multiple. Okay,
Okay.
it was
So
$180
$350 a week.
A week.
Okay.
$1,500 right there. I mean, $1,400 right there.
Okay, so just that doesn't include.
So that's
that doesn't
$1,400 split
include
between
their
two people.
food.
$700.
$700.
Okay. So let's
Right.
say let's.
And that's just for
How many
daycare.
people-
That's daycare.
That's just right.
Hey, how many guys out there paying $700 a month not complaining?
Shit, I don't know.
See,
A lot of them-
exactly.
A lot of them complain.
Child support is always a problem for the person that's paying it.
Yep.
Of course.
I mean,
It's never going to be a problem for the person that's receiving it.
And I'm gonna tell you, the system,
It's never going to be a problem.
it is because some women ain't getting enough money.
Yeah, that's right.
Bruh, I'm
Did you
telling
see
you, I
my
know people that
comment
was
about
paying
the $32
$60 a
a
month.
week? I mean, the $32
$60
a
a
month.
month.
I had a friend who her ex was only ordered to pay $32 a month, and then he could barely pay that on his own. It was set up where he had to send it. He wasn't doing it. So they finally set it up where, well, no, I don't think they ever did it auto. He just had to pay $32 a month. When he would pay it, they would send her a check. She would just hold on to it until she got a few, because she was like, what I look like going deposit a $32 check. But then they hit her up and said, you can't hold on to the check so long because after so many, like 90 days, 120 days, you have to deposit it by that date. But it was,
Hey,
like,
let me let you know a little secret.
it was just crazy.
Hey, you gotta pay child support, right? But daycare ain't included. That's on top of child support.
Right. And your medical bills. Your medical bills.
How is daycare not included? So daycare ain't included. No, I thought they factored daycare into the child support.
No, when they do it, they base it off your salary, right?
Right.
And they take 20% off the bat. And then daycare, you got to pay half of the daycare for the month. So that's added on to that. So you paying 20% out of your salary, your monthly salary, and then the daycare, half of that goes on to that. And then you got to add in medical expenses, dental expenses.
Medical, dental.
So I got a question for Lonnie, right? I got a question for Lonnie.
And we people are not sending our kids to college. We haven't even talked about college.
Oh,
okay.
That's
so,
right.
So,
Man,
so
they better go
question
to
for
learn
Lonnie.
something from YouTube. Go ahead.
Question for Lonnie, right? How much money did you get back on your taxes for claiming your kids? $0. You know what I'm saying? Like it's offset by the fact that you can't even claim your kids.
Hold on.
Why can't he claim that? That's not true all the
It
time.
depends on the situation you have with the mother.
Right.
Now, I could claim my kids every other year.
Yeah, you make an arrangement. That's what I do.
And me and my ex did 1 and 1. We did 1 and 1. We have twins, so we did 1 and 1.
Okay, but that's what you all are talking about is the discretion of the mom, right? I'm talking about the way that it's legally set up. You can't. That's not automatic, right?
You can go to court and request that.
No. Okay, so if you don't have residential custody of your kids, you can't legally file them on your taxes unless you're lying.
No, that's
right.
correct. That's correct.
You're right. You're right. You got to have at least 50% of your kids.
Exactly.
Okay, so what I'm saying is most men don't have 50%. So what women are talking about? Oh well, this $500 is $700. Da 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 da. If you got 3 kids, you're able to claim that on your taxes and get a significant amount of that back. And also there's the fact that you're paying like I said before, both of y'all got here, you're paying taxes on money that's not including the child support, and he's paying taxes on money that doesn't take the child support out. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So, like I said, you can't just look at it that one way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and again, it goes back it goes back to decision making. It goes back to decision making, right? Like you
The
have
scenario.
all these, yeah, like you have all these bitter women and all that type of stuff, and like you do all this stuff, and like I said, you still end up 60 and alone, like Nikki. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to make sure that we are doing things that we need to make sure that we're doing. I mean, like I said, you said I was bitter, so I mean,
Hey, let me
I'm
say
just
this,
telling you the true
but
facts.
you know the
Sound like you're
scenario.
talking from experience now, Brandon.
The scenario
I
I
mean,
gave
like-
was one kid.
Yep.
Now if you got 2 or 3 kids, come on, man.
That's a lot.
2 or 3 kids, you paying out your ass.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, I mean, hey, I mean, the only way to do it, only way that you can do it is, or talk about it is reform. You have to talk about reform because the way that it's set up, somebody's taking the L, right? Either the father, and I used to be just like, well, why would a man go out of that and all that type of stuff. The one thing when you go, people are talking about you go to mediation, you go to court or whatever. What human being wants a third party to tell them how much time they can spend with their child and how much money that they're going to be spending to an entity in which they have no say and no influence over the money?
That's
Sometimes,
because
sometimes you
Okay.
gotta get
Whoa,
that
whoa,
party
whoa.
involved.
And why is Nikki talking about child support and she hasn't paid child support to anybody? Like, that's what I don't
go to a
understand.
mediator. Excuse me, bitter Brandon. They go to a mediator because
Wait, hold on.
Oh, here
Your
goes.
ponytail is
Okay,
too
stop
short.
it, stop it, B, stop it, B,
Okay,
stop it, stop
Sometimes
it.
you gotta have that mediator in there because you got women that take advantage and you got men that take advantage. So that mediator is
the two
supposed to be
cannot agree.
able to mediate between both of them.
So hold on, let me. Johnny says he's right. If you don't have custody, you can't claim them. Facts. She has to allow you to do it. Is that true?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
You
true.
can't claim. Hold on. So if you don't have custody, you have to ask her to claim the child
Yeah.
for the year.
Yeah.
Man, you got me twisted. I'm going
But
straight.
at the
Man,
end of the day,
you better not let me get there before she do.
Hey, but you know what? The guy,
You
the
better not let
guy,
me get there before she do.
but most of the guys
No,
aren't having their kids 50% of the time anyway, though.
Huh?
Most of the guys aren't having their kids 50% of the time anyway.
But if he's still taking care of them, I mean,
That's the financial
They have
obligation.
to, you have to
no. So look.
Physical.
If he's taking care of him, if he's taking care of the child, seeing them all the time, let's say the kid live with the mother.
Yeah.
Let's say the kid live with the mother, Snooki.
Uh-huh.
You going over child, seeing the child 3-4 times a week, right? Talk to
That's
them
not
on the
7
phone,
days a week,
FaceTime and
bro.
all of them. FaceTime and all of them. You in that child's life. You telling me you don't have a right to claim taxes 1 year?
Well, it
It's up
depends
to the
on you.
woman.
Y'all two can agree. If y'all two agree, but
Yeah.
by law,
Why?
it's where the child lives physically.
I'm not asking. Why I need to ask her for permission? Are you crazy?
Because
Okay,
that's
what
law.
if you are getting that?
law.
What if you are claiming her for taxes, but you ain't going to go see the kids? Now what?
No, I'm saying if I'm doing
No, I'm
that,
saying,
if I'm
what if
doing
you
what I'm
not-
supposed to do.
But if you already entitled to get every other year taxes claim, and you
Right.
ain't even going to see your kid, now what? Now what the woman supposed to do?
Hey man, look, she is. Am I paying child support?
Yeah.
Okay, well then guess what?
You can only claim them if they live with you.
Man,
Now, if you can come up with your arrangement with the wife,
No.
the mother, or whatever, then
No.
that's fine. But by law, you cannot claim a child if they don't live with you.
Boom,
And
men
so-
have
so look-
responsibilities, not rights.
So at the end of the day, right, for the child's benefit, if it's used properly, especially in the case where one or the other isn't contributing, then it works for the kid's best interest. But on the flip side of that, if somebody wanted to use it as a weapon, it's a hell of a weapon. So then the discussion becomes, how do we curtail those who want to use it as a weapon? And I think that's the big question mark. Where
takes money.
I would never dispute like a kid getting taken care of properly. No, I don't think any of us do. But when someone decides to choose it as a weapon, it's a very efficient tool.
It takes money. If a woman wants to use the children as a weapon, the man got to have some money. He got to get a lawyer and he got to take it to court.
Wow. I ain't have
Hey,
no kids.
because I don't know if you remember, I had to go to court, $6,000. I don't know if you remember that.
Shit.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. I ain't man. Look,
And I was paying child support.
hey man, whoever get pregnant by me, man, I'm kidnapping that joint, man. She gone crazy, man. It's terrible, man. I'm sending it out there down to Texas with you, Snooki. We moving down there, bro, because this is crazy,
Hey,
man.
come on down, man. We got room.
This is crazy.
What part of Texas you in, Lonnie?
Oh, I'm in El Paso.
Oh wow, you were out there.
Yeah,
This
down
is
there
crazy.
loving life.
Oh,
All right, y'all. Look, we getting out of here, man. This has been a very interesting topic. We're gonna follow up with this.
Area.
We definitely gonna. I'm gonna do a part 2 to it. I'm gonna bring somebody in here next time, a professional in here to speak on it next
I
time.
thought that was Brandon.
Brandon, the professional. Hey, Loon B, I'm snatching that joint, man. Somebody, whoever getting pregnant, I'm snatching. She better be right in the mind, because I'm not going for this, bro. I'm not paying no child. I'm not paying child support.
Hey, cuz,
I'm not doing it.
Don't let that deter you, man. You go out there and make some kids, man.
Hey, man, look here.
I got a picture of you when you was about 3 years old that I'm gonna send you.
God damn it, go ahead, man. They don't want to hear that.
Yeah, watch.
Put it in
I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it.
They don't want to. No, you do not, Michelle. Y'all want to see all that.
I want to see it.
Hey, he look cute. He look cute.
Oh, let's see ya.
Lord have mercy. Hey, y'all, look.
What happened to Lexi tonight?
I don't know. Lexi can't. She was She said she couldn't make it tonight.
Is
She's
she okay?
going through something. Yeah, oh yeah. No. She good.
She don't got the Rona, does she? Okay.
Nah, hell nah. We ain't gonna put that on her.
Okay.
Nah.
Woo, we not gonna put the Rona on Lexi. She ain't got that. Nah, she good.
Okay, good.
She good. But thank you guys for coming through. As always, we appreciate you. And we're gonna
Don't be bitter, Brandon.
Huh?
Don't be bitter, Brandon. Be all right.
Say it again.
I said, don't be bitter, Brandon. It'll be all right.
Oh, nah, Brandon.
Man,
Brandon good.
don't be old, Nikki.
Oh, stop it. Y'all terrible, man. Hey, y'all. We got to get out of here, baby. Y'all enjoy yourselves, man. Have a good night. I'm about to look on there right now.
You and everybody.
Also, we got my man Six from the Raw Image Band over here. Who you get? Is that Love right there? Huh? Come here, Six.
I'm out
And my man
too,
Mike
dude.
from the big band, Wickedest Man Alive. Let's go, shot. Don't you love me?
I can only speak for the things that I've been through.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our love, I'll talk the whole night through.
Don't you love me?
About the loving I've been missing lately, baby. I haven't had no kisses. Don't you love me? Can we stay together?
Yeah. Don't you love me?
We can work it out. Start it all brand new. 'Cause if we stay together, there's nothing we can do.
Don't you love me?
About the loving
Yeah.
I've been missing. Let's do it, baby. Don't fight feeling. Won't you love me? Can we stay together?
Don't you love me? You say what?
Don't
You can't even tell the shot.
love me. Don't you love me?
That's what we talking about, Bill.
Don't you love me?
Hey, Tina Turner. Yeah. Don't you love me?
Don't you love me? Don't you love me? Boogie, they can hear me out there, right?
Yeah.
Don't you love me? Don't hear me? Hey, I can only speak for the things that I've been through. But when it comes to our love,
That's what we talking about, stop.
I'll talk the whole night.